Welcome to Daf Dalet, Yerushalmi Bava. So we said in the mission, Nechazim Shem Emiyil. So the mission had simply said that Nechazim Shem Emiyil are negeh for Shvarim, right? They all have the same dinim as anybody else, even though it's hektish. So Freiti Gemara, the Tani Hanachazim Alol Niknim Nechazim Sheyesh Behen Meila. That Nechazim are, and we'll go to Pnei Moshe, and this nickname Nechazim knows not nickname means a kaina, nickname of him means a dragged along with Nechazim Sheyesh B'Meilos. I says, I understand, but they're kachim. Why would they be dragged along with it? If they're kachim, we know it's reyehu, right? V'lo hektish. So over here, why are we applying the dinim of Shor Shenogach to hektish, to hektisha? Rabbi Yehuda b'Shem Shmuel, Rabbi Yosei Glili, it is a sheet of Rabbi Yosei Glili. Told him learn to Molam Hashem. Rabbi Yosei Glili, Lohavi Kachim Kalam. It includes Kachim Kalam over here. That Kachim Kalam is Momein Bailim, and even though these, so like we said, that's Kachim, but since it is a din of Momein Bailim, therefore Chai Bachar Yusan, and that's how they come to negate to us. Benazi Yomer Lahavi is a Shlomim. It comes to actually include the Shlomim, again, because it's on a moment by Lahavi. Yosmer the story Yomer, Lo Yehoy Benazi Yomer, Ella Alabchor Bilvat. When he said Shlomim, he didn't mean to include all Shlomim, meant to include only the Bechor. And so Freiti Gemara Ma Bein Yehoyim. So now when we said over here, they said right. He says it can't be. I'll just read from the Pnei Moshe of it. Al koch Rabbi Yosi the kama al b'chor bilvad lo lafuke shlomim as. He's not coming to be to lafuke shlomim. The ashta b'chor shekodesh merechem amoynohu shlomim abaya. Right, a shlomim was something that he was makdish. So therefore, by definition, it's less. It's call it, I don't know, less kaddish than Shlomim. He was makdish it later, therefore it is less kaddish than b'chor. So therefore he can't be coming to tell him that it's only right lafuke Shlomim also, because if he's saying the hashta b'chor shekaddish merechem amoynoyu, he considers me money even though when it was born already didn't belong to you because it was his mom, and right, it was a b'chor, didn't a b'chor Shlomim b'chor zichna. So what are we saying over here? We're coming lafuki something else. We're saying like this: if you hold that when he said shlomim, he meant to say that all shlomim, right? That since it comes to include kol shekei ma'isa, zicha ma'isa is going to be included in that. Because Maisa can also be brought as a shlamim, and it's not as chum as a shlam because it's not tuna smicha, nesachim, tenufa, chazav v'shoik, and now man dema shlamim kol shekain. I'm sorry, man dema shlamim say kol shekain Maisa, man dema bechor, but Maisa loy. We just changed the gear, so v'man bechor, but ma'aser loy. Why? Because bechor we find is less chamor than ma'aser. Why? In the regard that bechor can be sold, right? If it's tam, it can be sold chai. If it's a balmom, it can be sold chai or shochet. Mashen kein ma'aser can never be sold. So therefore, ma'aser is more chamor. Ma'aser would not be included. Would not be included over here. It's not an issue of kachi kalim. That's not the yardstick that we measure whether or not you chayv for the shar if it gores somebody, it causes damage. If you're chayv nachrais, then we consider it to be yours, and therefore you chayv. But if you're not responsible, right? So in other words, it's something where you didn't say harei Allah, you said harei zeh. Right, you've makdish the korban, you said arezeh, so therefore you're not chai b'achrayus, karni bahen b'ashem v'kichesh, and therefore be excluded from all these halachas. Rav Hunam, and here we're going to go to pshat of the Rav Fulda. Rav Hunam me'echa kachim ksherim, ve'echa kachim psulim. It is nothing to do with that. Kachim shechai b'achusam fila hein l'Hashem. like koche kochim, let's say, karani bahem ba'mitoi, knows if am chai b'achrayis, even if it's koche kochim, but if it's ma'achrayis, right? So in that case, so then it's then I'm responsible for it. So therefore, karani bahem ba'mita v'kichesh. But if I'm not chayv, right, if I'm not responsible, then regardless of whether it's koche kochim or not, karni bahem b'ashem v'kichesh v'loy b'amita v'kichesh, and therefore that kind of shor would be pater. Zuk the Gemara weiter. We said nechasim shem shnei b'nei bris, right? So we said that's only negeh for Yidden. Prat l'shosha Yisrael shenogach l'shosha nachri. The go is a shav nachri, the nachri. So then you pater. Minachasam yuchadim. That's for loy minich say hefkes. It has to be miyuchet. It belongs to somebody specifically, not hefkes. So for sure of hefke, according to the Pnei Moshe, gores somebody, and then I go and I'm kind of that sure that gored somebody while it was hefke. I'm pater. Noigeneim b'rishus hanizik v'amazik. And these halachas are negay if it's a rishus that belongs to both the nizik and the mazik. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, ilu tanu chutz mishus miyuchedes lemazik v'shasak. Had the Mishnah told us rishus that's miyuchedes only to the mazik, and it would have said anything else, and I would know by definition that everything else is excluded. The Yisiyayme echad chatzah shel shutvim ve'echad chatzah she'eino l'shnein chayeves, right? Because only rishus hamiyuchedes lemazik, that's where you patas, and every other case you chayev. I would know that. Why does it say, why do we continue the Mishnah to say, so what's that case coming to include? So that's coming to include a case where I gave over an animal to a shaima to watch, and his animal gored my animal. In that case, it's considered to be a reshus hanizik v'amazik, and therefore, and the halachas would be negaveh. In other words, the shaima would be chayv to pay. Amar Rabbi Yosi, Zok Rabbi Yosi, we keep the Tanah chutz mishus miyuchedes lemazik. Ein onu yoidin. Shh. Amar Rabbi Yosi, we keep the Tanah chutz mishus miyuchedes lemazik. Amar Rabbi Yosi, we keep the Tanah chutz mishus miyuchedes lemazik. Right, we learned in the Mishnah, it's a rishus that's miyuchedes lemazik. Einon yodim shein noigim rishus hanizik v'amazik. So obviously, we said chutz mishus, like we explained a minute ago, mishus miyuchedes lemazik there be pater, because he says, right, shorcha rishusi my boy, right? So einon yodim shein noigim rishus hanizik v'amazik. Obviously, it's noigim rishus hanizik v'amazik. Lo matona noigim heim rishus hanizik v'amazik. Again, the only exception is the rishus hamazik. And it's coming to exclude a chatzah that belongs to neither one of them. Right? So in other words, what we're saying is that it's noyig in a rishus, that the nizik is and the mazik. But if it's a rishus that belongs to neither one of them, then the halach said not negeh. Is tani chatzah shel shutfin chayeves v'chatzah she'en l'shneihem petura. So we have. We learned there's some that learned that chatzah shel shutfin is chayeves and chatzah she'en l'shneim is petur, like we just saw. And is tani afilu chatzah she'en l'shneim is still chayeves, not like we said a minute ago. Man the chatzah shel shutfin chayeves v'chatzah she'en l'shneim petur diksiv meitav sodehu. Sodehu means it belongs to somebody. Somebody that's involved over here has a chelik in this field. So obviously, if nobody has a chelik in this field, you'll be pater. It's a steyach at the end of the day, right? The whole pasuk is right. Ki yaver ish sodoi kerem v'shilach has be'iroi via b'steyach. You see, you have to pay, and this is a steyach, even though it doesn't belong to either one of them. Neither one have permission to be there. It's a steyach. Rabbi Yosef b'Shem Yochanan, Chatzah Shutfin Chayeves. So he came out and he said, Rabbi Yosef Paskin b'Shem Yochanan, that Chatzah Shutfin is Chayeves. Rabbi Yosef, and I can prove this from what Rabbi Shai learned. That's actually, it's inferred because it doesn't say this anywhere here. And the Folder, the Pnei Moshe bring down the Makar for this. So Abba Klolois Hoyer Reb Shimon Elazar Omer Shum Reb Meir. So now these were 4 rules that was said, that Reb Shimon Elazar said in the name of Reb Meir, as opposed to the Rabbanan. And the first case is where we have Arai from. Ben Izakin, sorry. So Abba Klolois Hoyer Reb Shimon Elazar Omer Shum Reb Meir Ben Izakin. Kol Makom Sheyesh Rishus L'Nizik U'L'Mazik. Any place where both the nizik and the mazik are allowed to be pundiki, a hotel, v'chatzah shutfim, like we just mentioned, ukiyetz behen, al Hashem v'aregel pater. So Reb Meir holds Hashem regel pater, al negicha v'negifa v'neshicha v'revitza v'albita v'atchiyah, im tam mishal mechatzi nezek, mu mishal nezek shal min aliyah. So now this is Reb Meir's shita. Reb Meir is the one who holds that Hashem v'aregel is pater. However, the Rabbanan argue on him, and they hold chayeves. And that's this raya that Rabbi Yosef is bringing, right, to what was said b'shem Rabbi Yochanan. Okay, and the rest is just nigra acharav, because we said the 4 clauses. So l'nizik v'lo l'mazik chay v'koil, l'mazik v'lo l'nizik is potem in akol, because again I always say, what's your ox doing in my rishus? V'akol mod ne'bad agrees b'shem rishus lo l'zeh v'lo l'zeh, need has permission to be in this place, gegoin biko, shus harabim v'chiyoytze ba, l'shem v'regel poter, or there's a gives chayiv, Al negicha, al negifa, al neshicha, al revitza, al beita, al dechia, tam mishal mechatzi nezek, mu mishal nezek shalem min ha'aliyah.